ready? It's the Roundtable with me, Robert Bannon. All right, so our next guest we've been watching on television now, and oh my goodness, I love anything that's Law and Order. So I'm fanned out for Danielle, and she's in a new work called Three Black Girl Blues. It's in LA right now. It's going up to the Bay Area. It's going up to we're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about what it is, where it is, how this all happened. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Robert.
I am so excited to talk to you because I love artists and their journey. And I was reading a little bit about you. You're from Sacramento, maybe?
Yes, I am.
And when did you decide, hey, I think I want to be an artist. I think I want to be an actor?
Well, I was always kind of in the arts. Growing up, I was a singer and a dancer. I was in all the talent shows and all the things. And then when I got to college, actually, I got interested in theater. In high school, I took like a theater class, which I guess sparked my interest. And then when I got to college, I took a theater course for one of my electives, and I really liked it. My professor pulled me to the side after about 2 weeks of being in class and asked me if I was a theater major, and that, she saw something in me, and I just kind of had a natural knack for it. And so she encouraged me to audition for a play, and I did, and I got the lead in the play. And then going through the process of, collaborating and bringing a show to life, I just really fell in love with acting and with that process. And so I decided I wanted to be an actor.
And here you are. And now television credits and stage credits aside and all of this amazing stuff. You went to Sacramento State graduate as what we were talking about. And then when you transition to television, a lot of people who are not actors don't realize there's kind of like a ladder to television. Like you get the guest star role, you get an arc, you get the series regular. How was the process from when you started and booked your first TV job now all the way to where you are at this point?
Well, I have to say mine is a little unconventional. And I think that's the beauty of being in the entertainment industry. Like nobody's journey is the same. And like you said, there's that step ladder. You're supposed to get a co-star first, then a guest star, then a recur, then a series regular role. For me, I booked a guest star role first on Super Fun Night on ABC. And it was a really fun. It was a comedy too, which is funny because now I'm doing all these serious roles, but it was a comedy and it was a great guest star role. I hadn't done any TV prior to that. Then after that, I got a co-star on Mulaney on Fox, which is a very small part. And then after that, I got my own TV show on BET called Rebel. And I was produced by John Singleton. So I was just kind of all over the place. I only had 2 TV credits when I got my own show. So that was remarkable. And then after that, that only went 1 season, so I was back to auditioning and, trying to get on another show. And it took like about a year and a half. Then I booked a guest star on Snowfall. And then after that, I booked another series regular role, lead role on a show called Deputy on Fox.
Yes.
And then, yes. And then after that, I got cast in a recurring role on Chicago Med. And that role is what got me the role on Law and Order. I didn't even have to audition for the role on Law and Order. They just took me off of Chicago Med and put me on Law and Order Organized Crime. So, and that was during the pandemic too. So nobody was really working, which is crazy,
Well, what's meant to be is meant to be. That's it.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Chicago show. My father is obsessed, and he always is on me about watching them. That's I think all he does. And and being a true New Jersey, New York, born and bred, Law and Order is like the holy grail of actors in New York City. It's like you haven't made it until you have a Law and Order cred, truly. So
Yeah.
when you are there and you're co-starring with, Chris Maloney is a legend of acting and television or whatever. Was it like to step on the set and kind of carry this legacy into this new generation of the show?
I mean, everything happened so fast. I couldn't even believe it took me our first season was 8 episodes. And I think it took all 8 of those episodes for me to really like internalize the fact that I was actually on the show. what is happening? Like all of a sudden I'm in LA with my kids doing homes, home learning because of the pandemic. And then the next thing you know, I'm on set with Chris Maloney, shooting and the second lead of a television show. So I was in shock. Chris is great. He did all he could to make me feel comfortable, and he's so warm and we have a great time acting together. We have great chemistry on set and on screen. And so that makes everything it just makes everything more fun when you're working with somebody who is great at what they do. It cares about the show and what we're doing. And that season, I got to work with Dylan McDermott as well. And we had a great time. But I was nervous, when I first got there. Not having to audition for a role is something that actors, that's like the goal, like to not have to audition anymore. But when you don't have to audition, you also feel the pressure of like, I got to do a good job so these people know they made the right choice.
Well, I wish for us all lots of email offers, just offering roles. Let's go,
Okay.
let's work. Hey, come on. Well, with all the television and you're a mom and you have your family and all of the demands of television, you still felt the need and the importance of this new stage project that you're working on called Three Black Girl Blues. Can you tell us, how did this come about? And in your schedule and all that's going on, why did you feel like I need to set time up aside to do this on stage in person?
Yeah, so about 16 years ago, I moved to LA from Sacramento, and I was trying to get my footing. I didn't have an agent, I didn't have a manager. I had about $4,000 in my pocket. It was like, I'm moving out there. And so after about a year in LA, I was like, I can't keep going back to Sacramento to do plays. I got to figure out how to stay in LA, how to get myself out there so people can know that I'm here, how to not have to wait on other people to give me permission to do my art. So I called my friend Anthony Dewan, who helped me write my one woman show, and I asked him to help me come up with a one woman play that would, not only help me display and showcase my talent, but also that spoke to issues and things that were important to me as a Black woman. And so he said yes, and we started working on it. It took about 3 years, and then we came up 3 or 4 years. We came up with Three Black Girl Blues, and it has honestly been the highlight of my career. Before I ever got my first television role, I was working on this show, and it has afforded me so many opportunities. So many people have gotten to come see me do it over the years. I got my first agent because of it. They hadn't even seen it though. Like a friend of mine saw it who was with that agency and was like, "Oh my God, my friend has this one woman play." And they were like, "She's an actress here in LA and she's doing a play, like, and doing it herself." And they were like, and my friend was like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Well, we want to meet with her." They had never even seen the play, and they signed me just based on the fact that I had enough initiative to do my own work. And so over the years, I have developed as a woman, and I have developed as an actor, and this play has just really taken a life of its own. People, every time I do it, people are touched, moved by it. I know it's called Three Black Girl Blues, but it's really a very universal story. I have people from all over, all races, all genders, that say that they can relate, to these stories. And so I think that's the beauty of theater. It is a place where you get to come and be inspired and challenged, and you get to look at yourself when you see things depicted on stage. And it can really change your heart, and it can change your mind about how you show up in the world. And that's what this play does. And it's always been important to me to do my own work, to create my own work. I love my job on Law and Order, and I'm very grateful for it. But I love the stage, and there's really nothing like it. And so I made a promise to myself that no matter how big I get, no matter what I'm doing, I
Yeah.
will always make my way back to my roots and what is important to me. And it keeps me sharp, honestly. Like doing something during my hiatus just makes me a better actor when I get back to set. When we start season 4, I'll be even more glorious.
Season 4 and then end this. Yes, come on. Well, it's the Hudson Theater if you're in the LA area, the B Street Theater, you're going there next month.
Yeah.
And what is amazing about a one-person show for me, I do like a cabaret one-person show because I don't like to take direction well. I don't like I don't want your blocking. I want my block. No,
Right.
you create your own yes. You've created your own yes back then when you were looking for jobs and trying to make it. You created art and you created your own way to wiggle into this industry. And then it kind of blossomed from there.
Yeah. I mean, you have to plant the seeds, you have to have a vision for your career. You have to take ownership of it. You can't sit around, oh, I don't have this opportunity. I don't have this. It's like, I saw a quote that really changed my life. And it said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. You
Yes.
have to take some of that responsibility. And I'm a woman of faith, and I believe that when you plant those seeds, it's a universal law. You plant a seed, something's going to grow. So it depends on whatever you want to plant, and so I believe when you plant those seeds and you water those seeds and you're diligent over what it is you're doing and you don't give up, you're going to have what you say. You're going to have what you believe that you can have. So,
Oh man, I needed that. We all needed this conversation today. You're preaching right here. I need this. Go to 3blackgirlblues.com, get your tickets and the dates and the information of when you can see it. Can you tell us a little bit about what is it autobiographical? Is it a story? What is the show about?
yeah, so it's a story. It's a story about 3 friends, Keisha, Jill, and Stephanie. They've known each other since they were 6 years old, and now they're grown women navigating lives. Their own lives. They've kind of they all grew up kind of in the hood, and Keisha stayed there, so you get to see what her life looks like. Staying in the place where she grew up and trying to figure out uh, how to get out, but not knowing how.
Yeah.
And then Jill, she kind of is in the middle class. She's a stay-at-home mom. She has a husband, 3 kids, living a life that most would think is, the perfect life, but she's very unhappy and kind of signed up for something she didn't know she was signing up for, and has tried to mask her disappointment and sadness with wine and with a big smile on her face where she's kind of dying inside, and then the last character, Stephanie, she has reached the pinnacle of success. She is fly from head to toe. She has all the money, successful career, but she's struggling with, depression and anxiety, some mental illness from some stuff that happened in her past. And now she's being challenged to come to grips with it and to face it. So there's a very big mental health, a look into mental health in this play, and it is mental health awareness month. So but it is funny as heck. You are going to be laughing, you're going to cry, you are going to feel uncomfortable in certain moments. It's going to challenge you, but it is a pretty remarkable show, and it's written brilliantly and acted brilliantly, honestly.
Oh, that's true. You better say it.
It is.
That's the truth right there.
You will not be disappointed,
Yes.
and it's only 75 minutes. That's the other awesome part. All these things that you're going to experience, you're going to get it in an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, and you can go about your day.
And then you go about your day and you get whacked to break your heart and make it art, as they say, is
Yes.
literally this story and what you're doing. I'm just fascinated how you can jump from a camera to a stage and back because it's a different, it's a different type of acting. It's a different type of, and the chameleon like way that your artistry has shown is so inspiring to
Thank
other
you.
artists.
Thank you.
LA, California, and wherever this show is going to be. I hope it comes to the East Coast. I hope it
Yes.
comes to New York, because I will be there front and center, crying and laughing and all the things. If you want more information, 3blackgirlblues.com, and you can follow Danielle, follow her on Instagram right now so you can stay up on all the television, I'm sure movies, I'm sure stage, I'm sure all the things that's
All
to
other
come.
things.
All
Yes.
the things that's to come. We will be watching. We want to say big congratulations. Thank you for all the entertainment and joy you bring us on stages and screens everywhere. And we wish you nothing but the best. We wish you, let's go. Let's make some work.
Thank you, Robert. This is so fun. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
It's an honor. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
All right. Bye.